Hey, what's up, everybody? So we'll get back to that box in just a second, which finally was delivered to my house. So I figured it was time to get this 100-gallon SCA aquarium reef build underway. And we're going to make ourselves upstairs in my house. Excuse the mess. Like I said, we're still working on this room. And here's the tank. Now, if y'all haven't seen the open box video of this tank, I will post that in the comments below. As you can see, I got the stand and the tank up the stairs, which I'll tell you right now is not an easy task whatsoever. This thing is built like a tank and it weighs just as much. So the stand is almost complete. I do need to make the doors for the stand, which I'm still debating on what type I would like to do. Checking the level for the first time, everything seems like it's going to be pretty good. I got to raise the left side of the stand just a little bit, probably use some wooded wedges. For the underlayment of the stand, I decided to go with these, I guess they're workout mats or garage floor mats. It's actually nice and dense foam. I used some contact adhesive to spray the top of the stand so that way it won't pull up when I put the tank on top of it. Cut the hole for the overflow, your drains and your return. So that's not all I have going. For this tank build, I will be routing all of my wires for my apex and power cables and all that stuff through one of these. We're going to start with one and see if I need to add another one. I can, and I'll show you where that leads. It actually goes from this wall and it'll actually go into a closet in a spare bedroom of my house that we only use for guests and everything. So having the power and everything, an apex and everything, I'm going to be able to mount right in there. To do that, I have to move this outlet or tap in off of this outlet, piggyback off this outlet, and install a new one inside the closet to get some power. And this was pretty much just the easiest way that I found to do it. So that still needs to be wired up. As for what's going in the tank, basically I'm going to be moving everything from this tank, all the livestock, live rock, corals, fish, and hope that they make it, in the new tank. This isn't my first tank move, so hopefully, fingers crossed that everything, or 90% of it survives. Along with the tank, I also need to move all my apex stuff and disconnect all that and my dosing pump. And I must admit, for this, I kind of let the cables get away from me after a while, and adding float switches and float switches in the top off bucket and on the tank itself, the overflow for some redundancy. So all of this stuff will be moving over to the new tank and be routed through the wall, along with the MP40 and the return pump and all that good stuff. So all of that is going to be inside the wall in the closet, so that's going to be nice. As far as the filtration and the stuff that I'm going to be using for the new tank, most likely I'll be using the same reactor. It's a GFO carbon reactor, and I only use that when I'm testing high on phosphates. And also the protein skimmer I'll be taking along with me as well. So now making our way back down the stairs and bringing us back to the box. What's in the box? But first, let's take a look at what I actually had to go through to get this actual tank and stand up these stairs. And like I said, it absolutely was not fun. So as for the box, I could have went with the same sump from my 65, but I decided to actually upgrade a little bit, and I actually decided to go with a Trigger System Sapphire 26 sump, which I scored a hell of a deal on this, so I just really couldn't pass it up. So this is just going to be a quick clip, just opening the sump up itself, but I'll do a full review and open box video, here shortly. I just figured we could speed this up a little bit and make this video move on and move along. Now I must say, once I pulled this thing out of the box, I was pretty excited. It is one extremely nice looking tank as well as functionality, so I'd highly recommend it. Not being used on the tank yet, but still. So here's what the tank is once we finally manhandled it up onto the stand with the sump underneath. And I really can say that I'm pretty excited about this. And once the doors are finished, or I'm thinking I might do some barn doors or something that's a little different that you don't see all the time on tanks. And the sump underneath, it's actually going to work out well because it's going to leave me some room. What I'm actually thinking is not centering the sump underneath the stand, but rather either move it over to the left or to the right of the stand, in between, as you can see, the either in between the 2x4s, or just shift it over to one side to free up some room in that tank stand. As you can kind of see, right here, if I shift it over to the right a little bit, I think it'll actually work pretty sweet, because the main drain will come down, the secondary drain, and then the return will come back up on the right side. And this will leave me plenty of room on the left of the tank, to actually put my external skimmer and probably down the road a calcium reactor. And as you can see, if I shift it over just a hair, I can actually get this drain line, which would probably be just a straight pipe down with a gate valve for my main drain. If anything, I'll have to, maybe use a 90 or 245s or something to get it to line up perfectly. But I think that might be the route to go, with it being a full siphon. I can just add that gate valve right there. So let me know what you all think, and especially on where to put the sump. I'm really curious on what you all think on that. But as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and happy reefing. Cheers.